All right, first off, thank you everybody for coming. Much appreciated, especially as we enter into this very important work. For those of you that don't know me, I think I know just about everybody. My name's Ed Muscadri. I'm the principal at Vanguard. Of course. So our agenda for this evening, receivership. The purpose of the public hearing, what is receivership, and what steps do we have to partake in from this point moving forward. School presentation, there'll be some review of the school data, some overview of our school improvement plan. This meeting is more of a work session, so what will happen is, after I present some school data, we'll break out into different work sessions, and it's the people present at the meeting that will have opportunities to offer up suggestions for the school improvement and for us to include in our school improvement plan. Everything that's brought forth may not be included, but we're going to include as much as we can. That's the feedback opportunity. So first, what is receivership? State law requires that struggling schools and persistently struggling schools make rapid improvement, okay? So Vanguard is struggling, we have to make rapid improvement. If schools do not meet improvement targets within 1 or 2 years, the district is required to appoint an outside receiver approved by the state. So hopefully in the next 1 to 2 years, we can make enough gain and improvement to be removed from the receivership list. An appointed receiver will have a broad authority to set and manage school improvement plans. The superintendent will act as the receiver first. Data for improvement targets will be released soon. So the state will release some of those targets. We'll make some of our own targets. We'll combine those two targets together, and that'll be our goals over the next 1 to 2 years. Up here or in your presentation that you received, there's a list of schools. There's 2 schools remaining from the first cohort of receivership schools. And we started, this is one of the members of cohort 2. So up there is a list of all the schools that were included in being identified as a receivership school. For cohort 2, those are all the newly identified schools. The city school district had 5 schools that were removed from receivership this year. Nathaniel Rochester, Roberto Clemente, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., number 9, Enrico Fermi, number 17, and Mary McLeod Bethune, number 45. So one of the requirements is by February 18th, we have to perform certain steps. The first step was communicated the school status. We did that. I did it through robocalls. You should have received a robocall if you're on the list. We sent letters home with students to their families as well. Established a school community engagement team. We've also done that. Some of the team members are in the audience. So that team has been established. And what we're doing this evening, conduct a public hearing to gather feedback and ideas of what we can do to improve our school and make it better. So the purpose of the public hearing, again, is where are we now with our improvement plan, plus the community engagement team, public hearing and feedback, the work we do this evening, will establish a receivership plan for Vanguard. The first piece of data that's included is our graduation rates. There's 3 years of graduation rates. 2014 cohort would have been last year's graduating class. So we made some gains from 2012 to 2013. We took a little step backward. So one of the goals for us is to increase our graduation rate and hopefully at some point in the next 1 to 2 years meet 67% graduation rate. Attendance, so the school has had its best attendance in the past 4 years. It's continually improving. With that being said, there are a significant amount of students that are either chronically absent or severely chronically absent. So that's some of the work that we are doing to increase attendance and student time in the classroom. Chronic absenteeism and severe chronic absenteeism is one of the measurements that the state uses. So our goal is to get those students' attendance 90% or higher. Suspensions continue to reduce. We continue to reduce them. Over the past 2 years, we've made pretty significant gains in that. A lot of that is probably attributed to our restorative work and the work that we do with the Help Zone and supporting students socially and emotionally. Regents Results. So I put the Regents Results in here from last January, June, and this January. If you want to compare them to the district averages, you can go online and see the district averages, but significant work has to be done to increase Regents Results and student pass rates on pretty much every exam. So our SEP plan includes several tenets. The first tenet is tenet 2. It talks about building leadership. And when we talk about building leadership, we talk about creating a school community and culture that leads to success, well-being, and high academic outcomes for all students. What does the building leadership do to foster those goals? Tenet 3, we talk about curriculum and development and support. The school uses curriculum and assessments that are aligned to the Common Core learning standards for all students and are modified for students in order to maximize teacher instructional practices and student learning. That means that when we talk about instruction, we instruct everybody in the classroom. We don't create a one-size-fits-all plan for everybody. We differentiate for the groups that we have in our rooms. Tenet 4, teacher practices and decisions. Teachers engage in strategic practices and decision-making in order to address the gap between what students know and need to learn so that all students experience high levels of engagement, thinking, and achievement. Raising student engagement in a classroom will have a direct impact on graduation rates, Regents results, and we started to work pretty significantly with increasing student engagement in the classroom just this year. Social-emotional development health. The school community designs systems and experiences that lead to healthy relationships and a safe, respectful environment that is conducive to learning for all constituents. We started that work again this year with our social-emotional support team with Family of 10. It's supporting social-emotional needs for our students. Family and community engagement. The school creates a culture of partnership where families, community members, and school staff work together to help students become successful. How do we engage parents and community members more successfully at Vanguard? That's the question. How do we get more attendance at events, and how do we make it more engaging and more useful for them? So the next steps. This evening's really a work session. Everybody should have received the schedule. On your schedule, on the left-hand side, there should be a group circled. That's the group that you're going to start with when we break out from the library. Each breakout will have 10 minutes at each station, and our goal in those 10 minutes is to give feedback on each of the tenants. So you'll visit each of the tenants, and we're looking for feedback on how do we improve? How do we engage families better? How do we improve attendance? How do we improve Regents results? We're going to rotate, make sure everybody visits each station. All input will be recorded. For example, if you see on the wall there, Tenant 2 will be stationed right over here. When people give recommendations or suggestions, we'll record that on the paper, and eventually the community engagement team will put all the information together into a plan and help build our receivership plan. When finished, please feel free to stay. We have a little food outside afterwards for a Valentine's Day celebration. Also, if you have additional feedback, you can email Vanguard Collegiate Improvement at rcsdk12.org, or you can call the main office at 324-3760. Any questions? So the first group you should go to is the one that you have circled. Feel free to make your way over to the group. I'll make announcements when it's time to transition to the next group.
So the group is in here.